Hello everyone, a very warm welcome. I'm back with my next AngularJS tutorial. It's the tutorial number 5. In the last AngularJS tutorial, we learned about the various AngularJS filters. Let's see what we learned this time. How to create a table with AngularJS, how to use AngularJS with HTML DOM, various AngularJS HTML DOM directives. AngularJS Table. Table can be constructed by repeating its rows. So ngRepeat directive can be used to create table easily. Let's see how we create AngularJS table through code. So here's the code that I'll be using to create the table. I have declared my AngularJS app with the body tag of the page. Similarly, I have declared the controller, test controller, with the body tag. Here I have defined the model for the page with the help of $scope service. The model has a property first name having value John, then last name having value Wade, then variable features that contains an array which holds 3 objects, each having properties feature name and feature value. I'll be using this array to generate a table with the help of ngRepeat directive. This ngRepeat directive will help me to iterate over the features array, thus displaying the values inside the object in a tabular format. Let's see how my page looks. Here's how my page looks. The first row displays the name of the person. The second row displays the features of the person in a tabular format. The table that you see inside this cell has values that have been picked from the array. These values were picked by ngRepeat directive that iterated over the objects and its values were displayed. So it's that easy to create a table in AngularJS. Now let's look at the next topic. AngularJS HTML DOM. We can bind application data to attributes of HTML DOM elements by using some directives available with AngularJS. The various AngularJS HTML DOM directives. ng-disable is the first one. The ng-disable directive binds AngularJS application data to the disabled attribute of HTML elements. Let's see how we use ng-disabled. So this is the code that I'll be using to explain the various AngularJS HTML DOM directives. Here are two controls, a checkbox and a button. Each time I check the checkbox, I'll be disabling this button. And then when I uncheck this checkbox, the button will be enabled again. This happens because I have declared ng-disabled directive, and it's bound to a property enable disable button which is bound to this checkbox. So there's a relation between checkbox and this button which has been defined by this property enable disabled button. Now let's see how it looks in the browser. So here's how my page looks in the browser. Here you can see I have a checkbox and a button. Currently this button is enabled. When I check this checkbox, this button disables, and when I uncheck it again, the button enables again. Now the next directive to discuss is the ng-show directive. The ng-show directive shows or hides an HTML element. The ngShow directive shows or hides an HTML element based on the value of ngShow. Let's see how it works. So here for ngShow directive I have two controls, a checkbox and a button. It works in a similar fashion as we did for ngDisabled. Here when I'll check the checkbox, the button will show, and when I uncheck this checkbox, the button will disappear. Let's see how it works. So here I have my page. Currently we don't have any button here in this area. When I check this button, you can see a button appears immediately. And when I uncheck this checkbox, the button disappears. The next directive is ngHide. The ngHide directive hides or shows an HTML element. The ngHide directive hides or shows an element based on the value of ngHide. Now again I have an input control and a button control. Here I have declared ngHide directive. When I check the checkbox, the button will disappear. When I uncheck the checkbox, the button appears again. Let's see how it works. Here you can see when I check this checkbox, my button immediately disappears. When I uncheck it, it appears again. Now the next directive is the ngClick directive. The ngClick directive defines AngularJS code that will be executed when the element is being clicked. Let's see how it works. So here you can see I have a button with which I have declared ngClick directive. Inside this directive, the click counter model property is being incremented by 1 each time I click the button, and the value of this model property is being displayed by this expression here. Now let's look how it works. Now when I will click this button, you'll see a number appear in this area after total click text. 1. Now the next time I click it, it will be incremented to 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can use AngularJS HTML DOM directives to disable or enable a button or any other control, to show or hide controls. Then we can use ngClick directive to enable the function of clicking on a button. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Please subscribe, like and comment. I will be back with my next AngularJS tutorial soon. Until then, enjoy and practice more. Thank you.